What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Sanchez 405 coming at you. It's on the Warpath. If you're new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime there's new content posted to the channel. And as always, like, comment, share this video out. We greatly appreciate it because I've got a special guest on here, and y'all know who it is already. I think he's lying in waits right there. Are you ready to go, mister? He is ready to go. Tim.
What's up?
Tim Sports Talk. What's up, my brother? How you doing?
Now that I think my mic's fixed, I think I'm doing better.
We've always got some technology will always get in your way, man. I hate it. I love it. All in the same vein. But y'all know, a lot of you all know Tim from his channel over there, Tim's Talk. Tim, talk about your channel, man. Introduce yourself to the people who may not know you over here at On the Warpath.
Gotcha. Well, my name's Steve. No, I'm just kidding. It's Tim. And I do a bunch of Washington football team content mostly, but I do live streams where I call games, like do play-by-play, mostly football. I've dabbled in a little basketball as well, but I've been trying to move, so I haven't done too much of those. But a lot of draft talk going on right now, free agents talk, stuff like that on my channel. So thank you, Corey, for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Anytime. You and I had talked about this, and then I said, I need to get off my feet and stop dragging. So I'm glad you were able to work with your time and come in here and chit chat with me for a little bit. What's up, Hassan? Hawk? What's up, Derek? Luis? Jessica? How y'all doing? That's right. What up, Kinsman and Warpath? But Tim, we'll dive right into it. And y'all, Tim's link is in the description, so you can click on there and go there and subscribe to him if you haven't already. But we'll dive right into it. News came out today that the NFL is making Game 17 official, and we have the lucky draw of drawing the AFC East card and the defending AFC East champions in the Buffalo Bills, who went all the way to the AFC Championship game. So what's your initial thoughts on that one and getting ready to go up to Orchard Park, hopefully not in December?
Yeah, well, that's what you get for winning first. Even at 7-9, you get the hard teams. Yeah, our schedule looks absolutely brutal next season, and Buffalo makes it no easier. And but most of the NFC East has a really tough schedule, so we'll see how it plays out. But I mean, Josh Allen's fantastic over there. Stephon Diggs, Tre'Davious White. We're gonna have our hands full whenever we play them, whether it's September or December. Yeah.
I think that Josh Allen, and now they've got the elite backup in Mitchell Trubisky up there. But I think it's going to be a rough one. And you look at this now with Buffalo to schedule, Washington will play the final four teams in the playoffs from last year. So that's going to be really interesting. But it goes back to that adage, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And Buffalo are the cream in their conference. And then you have both the Bays here in the NFC, and Green Bay and Tampa Bay, that are perennial contenders now. So, my opinion is, it is what it is. You're going to get hosed either way, even if you're 7-9. But we're not counting in injury. We always look at what this team did last year. But
projecting out, they're going to be tough. Projecting out, as you said, anything could happen. God forbid something happened to Josh Allen or Stephon Diggs or something like that. But it definitely can affect things.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, we get that one last road trip, and I see you've got your we got one more road trip now. I see you've got your season ticket hat on from this year. Are you? They had the news today, man, that the NFL intends to have full stadiums. Are you ready to get back into the stadium and go back to? I doubt it'll be FedEx Field come this week, come this season. But are you ready? Are you ready to go back to whatever it might be field in Landover, Maryland?
Yeah, no, I go to a lot of games. I don't know what I'm going to do because I usually call the games on this channel. So now I'm like kind of like COVID kind of gave me a year where I can kind of decide what I want to do. But I usually go to a lot of the games. I only live like 25 minutes, 30 minutes away from the stadium. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't know if I'm going to go back or not. Oh my gosh, my mic. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good, man. You're good. Technology. That way you could do this, man. You could do halftime report. You could do a halftime report there. Just do a halftime live in the pregame. Do it out there in the tailgate lot, and you can bring everything with you. 3 times.
Yeah, I should have 1,000 by then, so I could do mobile. Right now, I can't do mobile streaming.
Right. Yeah.
So that definitely was not on the cards this year. But next year I have no idea.
What are y'all doing? Go and subscribe to Tim so he can do this, because this dude produces some fire content over there. So make sure, if you haven't already, go and subscribe to him so you can get to 1,000. And when he's at FedEx Field, he'll give you that firsthand experience there. The 3-time Super Bowl champ Skin says, why not FedEx Field? Because Mr. Smith is trading is going to have to sell his minority stock back to Dan Snyder, and I doubt once that's all done with that he will not allow them to have FedEx Field on the stadium anymore. I don't think Dan would want to deal with it either. But we look at so now we know we're going to have a new quarterback here in 2021. And it is Ryan Fitzpatrick. $10 million, $12 million of that could be escalated with incentives there as part of the free agent moves. So what was your first thoughts when you saw Ryan Fitzpatrick was signed by Washington as the first free move?
Not very pleased with the situation at first. And but it is what it is. And then I realized Andy Dalton made the same amount of money. So things could be a lot worse over here in DC. It could be that but yeah, it could be Andy Dalton instead of Ryan Fitzpatrick. But Ryan Fitzpatrick should make it interesting. Terry McLaurin should have an interesting year. We'll see what he brings with all the targets he should be getting. But yeah, at first I was not pleased. Now I'm just like meh, and then I'm interested to see who we draft, because I imagine there will be a quarterback this year.
Yeah, I think there's going to be one in. I kind of have been of the same mindset that I was like, I'm on Ryan Fitzpatrick's station at the ticket booth. I'm not on the train. I'm trying to get on the platform here, but my card I won't pull out. What's up, Nati? How you doing, man? And Chris, what's up, brother? I just want to say, I hope for the best, but I'm expecting the worst with Ryan Fitzpatrick, because I don't know. And I said this before, and people, I've caught a lot of fire from that. I don't know what disease people have to forget what Ryan Fitzpatrick hasn't done in his career. No. And I got you muted.
I'm losing it with this mic right now. I don't know.
Gosh.
It sounds so bad, and it's turning itself up, and I don't know why. I just don't know why. It's just turning itself up every so often, and I apologize for the technical. I've never had this happen. It just did it again.
You're good, man. You're good. Ain't no worry. Ain't no problem there.
Anyway, sorry, what was the last thing you said?
I said, well, it seems like everybody has this disease that they've forgotten what Ryan Fitzpatrick has not accomplished in his career, and some of the talent that he's played with in the prime of their career and still couldn't get it done.
Yeah, no, they just remember the exciting things, like the Tampa Bay versus Saints game, where all of a sudden he came from nowhere. Nobody thought Tampa Bay was going to be in it. What did they score? 45, 48 points or something nuts. And they remember those kind of things. They remember. I mean, I watched the game live, the Raiders game. I was calling it play-by-play, and that was so much fun to watch once Tua got benched, and he just came slinging it, face mask and all. So it was he's going to be an interesting. He's going to make it interesting. A lot of Skins fans have been complaining for a long time. Why can't we push the ball downfield?
Right.
Why can't we throw it downfield? Now we're going to hear a lot of Skins fans. Why can't we just take what the defense gives?
Exactly.
Why can't we just check it down sometimes? Why does he always have to go for it?
It's one of them things. I remember when he had an opportunity to win in Buffalo when he was with the Jets, and they had a chance. All they had to do was win, and they were in the playoffs. He threw 3 interceptions. That's the Fitz tragic. I always remember Fitz tragic. I don't remember Fitzpatrick, and I do remember the guy who always seems to beat Washington every time we played him up until he was in Tampa.
Yeah, he tried to beat us in Miami, where he
came back
for Josh Rosen.
Yeah,
and they almost won with that 2-point conversion.
Yep. Yeah, no straight. I mean, so I don't know. I'm just gonna be sitting there like I just don't want the DC media to like drool over this guy because he's got this swag appearance or bravado or whatever he has. So I don't know. Look, I'm just gonna say it right here, right now. I am cool. He is my quarterback. We good? We good? Y'all believe that? He's my quarterback.
You gotta have a tier. You gotta wear sunglasses. You gotta have a tier.
I'll have my shades on. I only do that after we beat Dallas. That's the only time I wear shades on this channel. But what's up, Zeke fan? Merrill, what's up, brother? He's a gunslinger, and I hope he cuts down on turnovers. I hope so too. I hope I get $1 million too, Hassan, but that ain't coming either. So you mentioned earlier, Curtis Samuel, and this dude, Curtis Samuel, is versatility. Like the only game you really needed to watch was the game that he played against us, and this shows you what this guy did. Speak on what Curtis Samuel's going to do. What you think he's going to do in this offense?
Swiss Army knife is the term that immediately comes to mind. Scott Turner is going to have a blast. I know he loves his motions. I know he loves to switch it up a little bit, but he should have a blast trying to figure out all the different ways to use Curtis Samuel. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different ways to use Curtis Samuel because he can be a literally running back, slot receiver, or an outside receiver. Everywhere around. You can put him right next to the tight end. You could do everything with Curtis Samuel. And he had, over 1,000 all-purpose yards, or at least combined yards between receiving and rushing. So it should be interesting. I didn't quite want to pay him that much for like a slot receiver kind of deal. But at the same time, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to kill us by any stretch. But it's fine. I know a lot of other people thought he would make $11, $12 million. I was hoping more 8, 9 mil, but that was not in the cards. And it is what it is. But I think he will be a fun weapon to watch. Him and Terry should have a good time. Tons of speed on the offense. And he's better than anybody else at number 2 we had last year by a mile.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah, and he's so I'm cool with it. I said in my video, I'm cool. I'm okay.
You cool?
I'm good.
You cool?
I'm good.
Beans are cool. Beans are cool with it. Beans are cool. Chilling with it. I ain't mad at you. So I said that I think we've got a bunch of lawyers in this top 3 wide receivers now because you're going to have McLaurin, Samuel, Humphries, and associates. And I mean, somebody's going to keep the front desk and everything. Adam Humphries, I think he's an interesting wrinkle. Worked with Fitzpatrick. And he has had some injury history, though. But, I mean, it could be pick your poison. And he could eat if both Samuel and McLaurin stay healthy and he stays healthy. He could be the unsung hero of this wide receiver core.
Who was it again you said?
Adam Humphries.
Adam Humphries.
Yeah.
Yeah, the health is definitely a big concern. He seems to have a great relationship with the quarterback. That's why we signed him. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the contract we gave him yet?
No, I haven't heard. I have not seen the numbers on that.
I've been checking Spot Track like multiple times a day because I wanted to make a video on it, but I was waiting to see what it cost because I don't know how I feel yet.
Right.
If the dude's $2 million, I don't feel too bad. If this dude's $7 million, I feel a little bit different way. So I'm trying to figure out how much is he going to cost us this offseason. And for some reason, it's not on Over the Cap. It's not on Spot Track. It's nowhere to be found, it seems like. And we're almost, 5 days after the signing?
Yeah.
So I don't know why it's taking so long. I've never seen a contract. I mean, I don't follow contracts too hard usually, but I've never seen a contract take so long to give the details.
Trying to see if we can find. I'm trying to see if I can find it now. If anybody can find it, leave it in the comments how much he's going to get. Hope the firm is around. Hopefully, getting the JD. Oh Lord, have mercy! I ain't messing with you. I ain't messing with you, Nati. Yeah, they just said, yeah, I haven't seen anything on there, and I don't.
Yeah, so it's hard to say how I feel about it until I know how much it's going to cost us, because there's obviously a big difference, because you don't know how many games this dude's going to play. Mm-hmm. So it's $7 million. We may be paying $1 million a game for this dude, and I don't want to pay $1 million a game. So it's tough.
See, I think, and you know, with that, I feel like that's the old garb, and you know, surprisingly enough, we got some good players for good money this year, and then I think last year, I mean, you look at who we got, and we got the reformed tight end and Logan Thomas, who looked to be the best tight end pickup in free agency, really, because he outplayed Austin Hooper. Just saying that on the stat sheet. And then you had J.D. McKissick, who came in here as well. Peyton Barber in spot duty. He was okay as the power
2-yard barber.
There you go.
They came on 3 and 2
of dust.
4 and 1. They came on 3 and 2 and 4 and 1 all the time, so you were okay with it. But yeah, 2-yard barber.
There you go, cutting up, man.
I love JD. I liked JD coming in. I thought that was a great signing. I didn't know how to feel about Logan or Peyton, but I loved JD. I knew I watched him in Seattle and Detroit. So when we made that signing, I thought it was very interesting, very exciting, and cool that we got him 2 years, because we'll keep him. We'll keep him for another one.
Yeah,
I actually I see a little bit of a similarity, and I don't know how many people agree, but with JD and Curtis Samuel. But Curtis Samuel's much faster, clearly. I think about a 0.2 second difference on their 40, but they're Swiss Army knives. You could put him anywhere on the field. He's a running back, slot receiver, maybe a little bit not so much outside, but at the same, you could put him out there because he has great hands. He's made some incredible catches throughout his career. Obviously, a lot of checkdowns last year, but he's made catches down the field and throughout his career. So I see a little similarity there, but obviously Curtis Samuel is a step up. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and it's I thought it was interesting because the team has just went versatile on offense. Like, if you're a skill position player, you've got to do more than just what your set is. If you're a running back, you better learn how to catch. If you're a wide receiver, you better learn how to maybe line up in the backfield, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what you got with Curtis Samuel. You've got that with J.D. McKissick, and don't forget, Antonio Gibson as well had that same facet. He was actually, I think he had played more wide receiver at Memphis than he actually played running back.
He was a wide receiver at Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you went back and watched Memphis play last year, but Memphis had 5 of him.
Yeah.
I'm not there was a bunch of stocky, medium-sized, fastest black dudes, right? Just it was hard to tell. He had a towel coming out from the back. That's the only way I was able to tell that Gibson was lining up. But so they couldn't get him the ball enough because they had so many of them. So they just decided, you know what? Let's just hand it to him and let's just see what happens. And every 7 touches was a touchdown for him. So I think he had 37 catches and 33 rushes, and yet averaged some crazy amount of yards per carry and 7-8 touchdowns or something like that. So it was a great find in the 3rd round for Antonio Gibson. But yes, extremely versatile, for all of our weapons mostly.
Yeah. Shout out B Nizzle. What's up, man? Keeping it 1,000. You know that's right, brother. Yeah, so I think these guys are just I love what you can do with these guys. And you give him Scotty. Scotty can expand his playbook. Hopefully he focuses a little bit more on the run. Little bit. Beam me up, Scotty, just a little bit on the run. I might turn this into a power game and everything like that. But I'm like, let's just a little bit of run. Remember how your daddy got fired a couple of times because he didn't run the ball that much? Don't be your daddy. You're more cerebral. Not cerebral hemorrhaging, but cerebral. Come on now. Because that offense was hemorrhaging in the first half of the season. Let's keep it 1,000, right? Mm-hmm. We move over to defense. And I think the 2 key losses, Ronald Darby, KPL, but you replace Darby with William Jackson III, because when you get 3 sticks behind the name, you've got to say it fancy. I don't know if you've seen tape on this cat, but it looks like he was overlooked in Cincinnati from what I've seen.
Yeah, they paid another corner a bunch of money the last season, I heard. So it was hard to justify paying 2 corners, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think we got the better end of the deal as far as which corner they let go. And he was very interesting. I love the video of him versus Kenny Galladay after the Giants signed him, and he completely shut him down. Most of the games I watched, I forgot that he had played us, but I watched a few other ones. He played on the right side, of the right side of the defense, left side of the offense. But apparently when he played us, he traveled with Terry and he traveled with Kenny Galladay. So I don't know why the games that I wanted to watch him versus OBJ. I wanted to watch him against all the receivers over there in Pittsburgh. And I guess their game plan was just put him on the right side and just watch him work. But he does seem to have the ability to travel, and great man-to-man corner. He is aggressive, which can be fun to watch, but he can get beat on the double move. I know OBJ and Deontay Johnson beat him bad on the double move, so he's got the recover speed. He does have a 4.37 40, but the double move is definitely – so don't be surprised if you see 2 or 3 bad beats this season coming up because he tried to jump around or try to get too aggressive with one of those short, quick receivers.
Yeah, and I know that the scouting report on him said that he can get sloppy if he's out of position, and it's going to draw those penalties with them. But like you said, he's got great recovery speed, and I think you don't need him. Like in this day and age in the NFL, your corners just need to bat the ball down. You want to get interception. I think that's something that kind of was looked at like, he's only got 3 interceptions, but he's making moves. If he's making moves and locking down people, that's gonna solve everything else.
The games I watched, not a lot of balls went his way.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have a lot of opportunities to catch it either. But yeah, I mean, he does play DB for a reason, right?
Yeah. And I think he did well on Monday night. I remember seeing a highlight of him against Pittsburgh. So I think it was an improved upgrade from Ronald Darby. And as opposed to somebody that was trying to get paid, I think Darby was just trying to get paid because he put aloe vera in business so many times when he was in Philadelphia. And, it is what it is. I mean, the Falcons, I think, him a fruit basket after they won on Sunday night back then. But so we've got, and they also brought in Daryl Roberts, who's a guy who ran a 4.38 40 back when he came out of Marshall, and he's a good depth guy. I think if he can stay on the field, and I think he could have some value at special teams as a gunner. I don't know if you've seen anything on him. What are your thoughts on
So
Daryl Roberts?
I actually have him. I have not gone back and watched much. I didn't see it as much of a signing to really get excited about or really care about. I do have a good buddy that's a Jets fan, and he said, "Oh, you signed Daryl Roberts." Daryl Roberts, I believe, played for the Jets. If that's
he did.
Yeah. And he was, "Oh, you signed Daryl Roberts? He sucks." So that's what I heard about Daryl Roberts. That's the extent of it. So, but I did not know he ran a 4.38, so that's cool. But yeah, obviously, there's a lot more to corner than just speed. But that's all I know about him, unfortunately.
Yeah. I asked my Detroit, but I said, what about Daryl Roberts and Gridiron Blitz? Go check out Gridiron Blitz. I think he's live too right now. He said, trash. I was like, okay, I got you.
So our sources are connecting here.
Yeah. So I don't know. It is what it is. So let's see. Does he have YouTube? Yeah. Merrill. Yeah, Tim has YouTube. It's in the link. It's in the description, and you can go check him out. And you find that logo right behind him, and you'll be able to see. Yeah, the Tim's Sports Talk. And he does. Yeah, and you do gaming on there too, don't you?
I told my as I said, I've been trying to. I told you, I guess I haven't said it on the air, but I've been trying to move, so I have no time in front of my computer. I'm just making a couple of videos and trying to schedule them for the next day when I can. But I told my audience that if I'm going to be playing Call of Duty, I may as well be streaming it and hanging out with you guys. So yeah, I do play a little Warzone, and if you guys like that kind of stuff, you can hang out with there too. And I'll still talk to you guys, whatever you guys want to talk about, whatever sports or whatever. But yeah, if I'm gaming, I'm streaming.
Yeah. And he also has a Discord for his chat too. I'm still trying to figure out this Discord stuff, dude. I have it like I have it from like the Washington, like all these Washington official things, and I get like all these notifications. I'm like, I don't know what in the ham sandwich is going on out here with this stuff. I'm like, what? I said, what is this? Why is my phone buzzing all the time? But it is what it is. So in free agency, do you think Washington's going to make another move? Do you have a guy that you might be looking at that's saying like, this is a guy we should take a flyer out?
So I think in the draft, we're going to draft at least 1 or 2 linebackers, but I still think we need linebacker help, whether we do that or not. I would love to get a veteran like KJ Wright. I don't think he'll be overly expensive. I think his last contract was only like $6 million a year anyway. So paying him like even like 2 years, $10 million, something like that, maybe incentivize it a little bit or something like that. But I would love to get his experience. He's had a Super Bowl, been to multiple. So I would love to get him inside with our young linebacking core because, as I said, I imagine we're going to draft a couple. But yeah, so I would love to go ahead and grab him up. But as far as any others, I don't think maybe another corner depending on where we go in the draft. But as far as before the draft, we may just stand pat other than a few randoms here that more Panthers probably will be coming to the football team.
The Red Panthers, as I like to call us now, the Washington Red Panthers.
Yeah, so we'll probably get a couple more, but nobody of note probably until after the draft. I would love to go get Ryan Kerrigan back. We have obviously 2 mammoths at the starting positions, but then the drop-off is serious afterwards. So I would love to get him back. And I would like to sign him long-term, not like super long, but just make him skins for life. You know, I'd love to make him a 3-year deal or something. Pay him a decent amount of money, too. I wouldn't mind it. He's got great leadership. He's always on the field. He's talented. And I would probably play him a little bit more. Unfortunately, some games he only played like 16 games. 16 plays, excuse me. And it's like, I feel for the dude. Of course he wants out at that point. It's like, dude, you can't play me 30, maybe even 35 or something like that. Make it respectable. But yeah, it was tough. But those are the 2, I guess, KJ and Ryan Kerrigan. Those would be my 2.
I like KJ Wright, and I've got a theory about Ryan Kerrigan. I'll share it with you in a second. Micro Mike, what's up, brother? How you feeling? Go ahead. Mike, y'all go check him out. This man, Mike is like baller, part of the IS work, and good dude over there. Go check him out. I think he's like at 1 million subscribers now or something with everything he does. So check out Mike. He's going to jump on me later for saying that, but Ryan Kerrigan, and I talked to Mitch Tischler yesterday and kind of bounced this off of him too. I might get what you think. We kind of were in the same agreement. I think Ryan Kerrigan's coming back. And the reason why I say that is he went to Cincinnati. He went to Cincinnati, Tim. Come on, man.
Cincinnati actually could be a much more improved team than some people might give him credit for.
With what? With a paraplegic quarterback?
Well, we'll see if he comes back from his injury, but the dude's a stud if he can play.
Oh, yeah,
he's got some weapons over there, some young – I love Boyd. Higgins is good. They've got some interesting Joe Mixon out of the backfield is really, really talented. And at one point, even when they were like 0-5 or whatever they were, PFF actually had like if you could watch the rankings as far as how everybody was grading out, they were like the 16th best team in the league last year, even at 0-5, because I guess like there's different positions that are their talent is better than what their record was showing, and they could actually be a much more improved team. They're in an extremely tough division, which makes it hard for them. But they're actually a more interesting team than I think people give them credit for. But your sentiment is granted as far as Kerrigan looking at. He's not looking at Seattle with Russell Wilson or somebody that Buffalo needs a pass rusher. He's not looking at one of those teams. He's looking at Cincinnati. So
or these teams, and that tells you another thing. These teams aren't looking at him too now. So going back to Cincinnati, this is what I love and I hate about Pro Football Focus, because the greatest barometer on how well your team is doing is if they're winning. And for Cincinnati, I'm like, I just don't know. Sometimes I think that the analytics part of it kind of gets me, because it's like, yeah, I get what you're saying, their problem, and I honestly say with Cincinnati, and this is the last thing I'll say about Cincinnati, is Zach Taylor. He's got to go.
The head coach?
He's not head coach quality. He just got a job because of Sean McVay. If you don't, back in 2012, I think Joe Philbin had him as the offense coordinator. I think he replaced Mike Sherman or something like that back there. So he was on there, or quarterbacks coach or something crazy like that. But I'm like, Zach Taylor, he's way in over his head there in Cincinnati. So bye.
Coach is extremely important, so that would make sense too. Maybe that's the disconnect. Is they do actually have some talent, but their coach is dog crap. I don't know much about him.
They benched Andy Dalton on his birthday, Tim. Who does that on a Tuesday? You could have came in Wednesday and been like, dude, look, we know it's your birthday. You come out, hey, you're not going to play. Do it after my birthday. Don't do it on my birthday. Like, who does that? That's
I didn't know that they did that.
Yes.
That is messed up.
That is messed up. And then I don't know if it's any messed up worse than what John Bostic made him do. So, what up, Grid? What's up, brother? I just made your trash comment earlier about Daryl Roberts. Shout out to my ISN brethren, Micro Mike, the Gridiron Blitz. Also, check out Gridiron Blitz's second channel. Also, DoorDash Dad. Check him out over there. Good dudes. So, we kind of we talked about free agency, and the one thing I like about free agency now, as opposed to 20 years ago, is that they don't spend money. They're not crack, like we're not spending crack prices on old people like Deion Sanders and trying to buy an 8-8 Super Bowl. What do you think? How do you like the spending of free agency? And I guess since Ron has got here, how about we go there?
I think it's actually been a little bit longer than that. Obviously, Josh Norman was a little overpriced. I guess Landon was overpriced too. But there was we've been having a while where we've had much more quieter off seasons and not overspending extreme amounts of money on names. That's the big thing, right? The names. So it's been great though. I like having cap space year in and year out to actually continue to build this team. I still don't know how the Saints figured their situation out, but I would rather not. I would rather be where we are than they are in the cap department. And I'm one more solid draft and a quarterback away from who knows what we can be. And the money is there to spend. Even next season, we have plenty of money over the next few years to be able to sign all of our guys in theory that are important, at least in my mind, like the Jonathan Allens. We could sign Brandon Sheriff. We can get Daron Payne, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Terry McLaurin. I think we should be able to pay pretty much all of those guys as long as we don't overpay one like Chase Young gets like $35 million. We'll see. But overall, we have tons of cap room, and we should be able to pay some of these great defensive players that we have as well.
And we'll spend $20 million on a guard next year. So
I hope we trade him. I would love to trade him.
I'm ready. I'm just ready to get over this saga for it's like that car that you have to keep on putting money into. That's what Brandon Sheriff is. Yes, it won Powertrain Associate Awards for best class and vehicle back in 2005, but it's not working anymore. I'm sorry, JD Power and Associate. It ain't happening. But oh gosh, man. I can't. But I do know. I did hear from New Orleans what they did as far as their creative accounting. They got one of those old voodoo women down there to come in there that majored in accounting down there at Old Shaman University in the French Quarter. I think that's what happened there. Not sure. Maybe the ghost of Tom Benson came out there and was just like, hey guys, we'll get the money. But whenever you put $140 million next to Taysom Hill, even if it's not guaranteed, even if it's just a number, there's something wrong with your book. I would have fired that bookkeeper and anybody who would have let that number out. I mean, Tim, we're talking Taysom Hill.
He's going to be cut next year. I think they may be able to get one more year out of it. But at the same time, that's another funny situation as far as just couldn't find the Adam Humphries. deal.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find the cap hit numbers. Maybe it's out there now. I haven't looked actually in maybe a week or two, or like week and a half, whenever it came out. I was trying to look for like a couple of days, but I couldn't find what is his scheduled cap hits supposed to be after this season. Like I know they lowered it this year, but with that situation, what is their expected cap hit supposed to be? And that was going. I was also going to make a video on that one once I figured that out, because I was curious what the money is going to be like, because if he's scheduled to make like 20, 25, $30 million next year, he's not going to be on the team. And so like, he's cut. So it was just a fancy way to cheat the system and get out of paying him this year. And we'll keep pushing it down the road. Saints motto, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Keep pushing, keep digging, as they say where I work at. But anyway, so down to the good part.
Mm-hmm.
Draft season. It's line season. Keep the cap going, all that good stuff. At 19, and I told you, don't bring a mock draft, because we're not going to trade up and get Jamar Chase. Shout out Amir. Amir will never live that one down.
That was a heck of a mock draft. And I only got to round one.
I know.
I put out after the first pick. I know. Comments, saw what his second pick was, and your face was priceless.
Oh, I know.
When he said Mac Jones. I actually just rewatched that again today, and I showed a buddy, and we were laughing. So he said, and we draft Mac Jones.
Bro, I'm not a Mac Jones fan. I'm not gonna make any bones about it. I just think that I'm like, dude, he looks like me. He looks like somebody I go drink with on a Friday. That's what he looks like.
I hear you.
I'm just saying, and I might be wrong. I hope I am. Well, as long as he doesn't line in the NFC East, and maybe this is good. This could happen to the Shanahans. I hope they trade up and they take Mac Jones at 3 and they just blows up the San Francisco 49ers. And then I'm just like this. I'm throwing my middle finger up to Kyle Shanahan, because he's such a good guy. I love him. But at 19, are you holding? Are you going to try to trade up? Are you going to try to trade back? What are you going to do? If I gave you the card and I said, Tim, or anybody gave us the card and said, Tim, it's your call.
Got it. I have fallen in love with the player at 19, if available. So if he's there, I would love to get him. And that's Trayvon Merrick, a free safety out of TCU.
Okay.
I think he's an absolute stud. He played a lot of man-to-man and absolutely shut down the slot or tight end, whoever he's guarding. I think he's incredible. He had a little bit slower 40 than he wanted to because of a strain, like a flare-up on his back, apparently. He ran a 4.50. But I think he's faster than that on tape, so I am not upset at that. And I think he has great range. He's a great tackler. I didn't see him miss a single tackle in the 3 games I watched. I usually try to watch them against their best competition, so whatever they play rank, I go to see. And he played against Sam Ehlinger, Brock Purdy, and Rattler, the Oklahoma quarterback.
Oh, Spencer Rattler, yeah.
Yep, and he was shut so many times. Their eyes went his way, and they switched to the check down. They're like, nothing's over there. Don't even think about it. But if he's at 19, I'd love to get him. If not at 19, I would love to try to trade back and get value because I'm not a Christian Darrisaw fan. I'm not a JOK fan. I don't think Zaven should be taken that early. And I haven't, and maybe one of the corners, if you really like if one of them fall and you really fall in love with one of those, I haven't looked too much into. I know that Caleb Farley seems to be a real baller, but he didn't play last year, so maybe he falls to 19. But I mean, I'm always for trading back a few spots and trying to add capital, especially if that guy you've fallen in love with got taken already. So I would like to trading up. I just think it's going to cost too much to trade up, even for one of these quarterbacks. There might be a chance that one of them is there at 7, and maybe you can make some weird play. But I think the Panthers make a blocker trade anyway, so I just don't see trading up as much of a viable option at all this year. And I think I would love to trade back. And if I could somehow trade back and still get Merrick, there you go. Life's real good at that point.
Yeah, and shout out Micro Mike with the first super chat of the evening. Let me hold some, Mike. Let me hold some, brother. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for your counsel.
I get half that, right? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Just kidding. We work out. So I had my people call your people.
There you go.
But shout out Micro Mike. Thank you, brother. Appreciate your counsel and your guidance in the ISN network, brother. Appreciate you so much. And y'all can go check out all my ISN brethren in the channel on the main page of the channel. They're down there, and you go follow these guys. Hilarious, smart, love sports, love games. And I will be on with them tomorrow, Wednesday, on Troxel's channel. So check us out. I gotta get, because I think I have to change my background for some reason, but I'll get Trav to tell me that here in a little bit. But shout out to Micro Mike, and thank you again, brother, for your kind, generous donation there, helping us build the channel. Also, shameless plug, I'm selling shirts. It's in the Nightbot, and you can go there, and I've got a promo code for free shipping. It's OTW ship, and you get free shipping on a shirt. And let me know when you get it, and I will thank you on air. And if you find me on social media, make sure you let me know, and I'll share that picture on there as well too. But going back there after the shameless plug, I like Zaven Collins, man. I think that this guy is the linebacker that Jack and Ron can do something with. Like, you can't be that big and that fast and spy on quarterbacks and that fluid. And I know he went to Tulsa, but what he has done, even in that conference, this guy's going to be translate to the next level. And you could probably play him at any spot. And the best thing is, you said don't draft him at 19. I agree with you, Tim. I think you should trade back, get some more draft capital. How about get another third round pick or something like that, and get 3 down there? And you can really get some playmakers down there in that third round. Maybe even get a backup quarterback or something like that, that can learn. And maybe people talk about Davis Mills. I like Kellen Mond. I know he has small hands, but I like Kellen Mond. But I love Zaven Collins, man. I think this is the cat that Washington needs to go after, because that linebacker, you can just tell that Jack and Ron were not happy with linebacker play last year. You know,
nobody was.
Yeah.
Nobody was.
Yeah. Yeah, and, but that's their craft, like that. That's what they like.
They both played, yeah.
I mean, it's like if you go to a glass maker, right, and they see some warped up glass in somebody's window, they're gonna take that to heart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think about them, and hopefully they do get that guy, Zaven Collins. Any other guys you see in the late rounds that you might take and say that Washington may take a flyer on, or like, do you see a quarterback? Who's a quarterback that you like that they might take in the second or third day?
So I'm still looking through quarterbacks, but the two that I would say, or I guess there's 3 that have been a little bit interesting to me. Davis Mills was one of them. I've only watched one game of him so far, but I liked what I saw. I still want to watch more of him. Jamie Newman, I think, has a great arm. He's a very interesting guy. He didn't play last year due to COVID, but over there at Wake Forest, he seems to have a great arm, a great deep ball. And some good mobility as well for Jamie Newman. And the other guy that's not really on anybody's boards, you may be able to take him later in like the 5th or 7th round, is Felipe Franks. I think he's
from Arkansas. Yeah.
Yep. I think he's a poor man's Trevor Lawrence, 6'6". He's got a little speed on him. Obviously, I don't think he's Trevor Lawrence, but I think he's a poor man's one. And he's a very interesting dude. I love to watch him play over there in Arkansas. I've watched a few games of his. But those are my 3 that I was interested in so far, but I'm still looking into a lot of guys. I did look into Kellen Mond, and unfortunately I'm not on the Kellen Mond train. I'm not really on the Trask train either. So, but there's I want to look into Sam Ellinger. Who else is over there in this range? I don't like Book from Notre Dame. And then is there another one? I don't know. There might be another one. But anyway, so but I'm definitely still looking at them. Videos to come on those over on my channel that after I break down those guys and try to get a better feel of who I actually will end up going with. But I think there's some interesting late quarterbacks in this draft.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is the draft that reminds me of 2012. I think there's going to be a diamond. There may be a Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson or Kirk.
Or Kurt. Yeah, there might be a Kurt Cousins out there too. The the biggest bank robber in NFL history.
Kurt.
Oh yeah, Kurt, man. I'm telling you, I call him Bernie Madoff, man. Ponzi scheme, getting all that guaranteed money. I'm telling you,
$4 million guaranteed in 3 years.
How
Fully guaranteed.
how do you conduct armed robbery with nobody getting shot, but somebody getting screwed that bad, and you know you stole money from these people? They still want the money back. They got Ziggy Wilf is just like, I still am on loan to give you this money.
I do like Kirk though, as far as a quarterback that could actually win, but not for that much. I mean, you can't win with that kind of money paying him.
Oh yeah, that's drug dealer price.
If you get him though on a rookie deal, and we have a team like we have now, that could be a really interesting dude. So if we even can find a Kirk Cousins in this draft, I think that would. All of a sudden, who knows what we could do even with this Kirk Cousins level quarterback.
Mac Jones will be Kirk 2.0. I don't know. It is what it is.
I'm on board with you. I'm not a big Mac fan.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like, I mean, Mac Jones is like that dude. He's like the dude who shot himself in the thigh on 8 Mile.
Cheddar Bob?
Yeah, he's Cheddar Bob. He's Cheddar Bob. Like, he's got all these fly dudes that he hangs out with, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Najee Harris, Eminem, and,
Alex Leatherwood, Deontay Brown.
Exactly. Come on. Let's bring it up. Let's be honest. Let's keep it 1,000. So I don't think, like, I just, in Alabama, quarterbacks have been great in the NFL. I get it. I get that, Greg McElroy was elite. AJ McCarron's coming off a Super Bowl, right? So, I think maybe I'm too hard on him, right? Maybe. I don't know.
I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, I see a potential Dwayne Haskins 2.0 out of Mac Jones myself. I know he has a bunch of off the field issues too, so character concerns is a problem. I think he already has 2 DUIs, which one is bad, but 2 good grief. And but yeah, so it's there's some things with him that I'm not the biggest fan of. But you also had one of the better teams around. I mean, somebody did point out Joe Burrow had a ton of talent around him as well.
Yeah,
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and then what's his name? Is it Terrence Marshall as well?
Yeah.
So he had a ton of talent as well. But Devonta Smith, the first Heisman Trophy winner wide receiver since '89 or something like that.
Something crazy like that.
Yeah, so he had a great team around him.
Well, he's a quarterback that's got DUIs. He could be the next Jay Gruden.
Ooh.
There you go. So, I mean, as long as he's not smoking dope with somebody that's not his wife, I think we'll be good. And speaking of infidelities and everything like that, the Dan Snyder stuff just seems to never go away. God love him. He's going to get ownership of everything probably here this week, as the league will probably approve his payment for to buy in. They signing a debt waiver as well. A lot of people didn't realize this, though. The reason why he had to sell partial stake in the team was because all his money, all his wealth is invested in the team pretty much. He does not have a lot of he's not this big baller that he may appear. So my biggest thing is, 1, does this surprise you? And 2, do you think that he will ever be forced to sell this team?
Does it surprise me that he's buying everything?
Yes.
I'm not surprised that, like, let's put it this way. Out of the 2 situations, would he leave or buy the team out? I'm not surprised he bought the team out.
Right.
Let's put it that way. I don't think he's ever going to leave, and I would love him gone. I do not have any love for him anymore, because the only reason I liked him was because he kept the name. And now that he didn't keep the name, he's gone. I literally, there was no redeeming qualities about you other than the fact you said never will do it. That's the only redeeming quality out of you, and forever. And now that's gone too. So I have no love for him. I know people that have worked in his box. He's a complete jerk. There's nothing that I'm saying. I don't feel bad for him. I would love for them to force. I talk about, I don't want to pay a lot of guys money. That's only because the cap. I wish that we had no cap and we had to bankrupt Dan Snyder, so we had to get rid of the team. Like, take all his money. I don't care.
Oh gosh,
no love for Dan Snyder. So yeah, whatever. I hope somehow he gets kicked out, and I would not mind Bezos, not because he knows football or anything, but he knows how to run a well-oiled machine, and he also knows how to please his customer base. So, and the customer base would be the fan base. So I would imagine what that stadium would look like when he built a new one. What kind of new crazy crap would be in that stadium and how well it would be done. I would love to see anybody other than Dan, but Jeff Bezos wouldn't be the worst.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that. Now that I think about it, so he might be good for the customers, but those players will probably be peeing in cups outside. If Jeff Bezos, yeah. So I'm just saying, man. You know, like at least Dan
diapers or something.
Yeah, at least Dan will at least have a porta john out there, man. Like I honestly think Dan's gonna buy and then flip the 40%. Because I don't think he's going to hang on to the 100%. I think he will decide to flip that whenever that might be. I don't know, but I just have a feeling that's going to be his ace in the hole. And maybe if he wants to bring on a stadium partner, and that's kind of what I alluded to earlier in this video or this live. Done so many videos. Stop that cat. But I think that he'll flip it and he'll want to get somebody to rename the stadium with. I don't think it's going to be FedEx Field too long because of Arthur Smith. That was Fritz Smith is, he was part owner and now he's selling that. And they say he was pretty much the proponent to change the name because he's trying to get his money. So y'all don't use. I can't say that. I can't say don't use Federal Express because I have a friend who works there. It's very close. Got a question here, and a lot of people have mentioned this, so I'll ask you this. What are you said you weren't a big fan of Darius Shaw. What kind of leaps out to you? It's like I wouldn't take this guy at 19.
So I played tight end in college, so I was in the O-line room studying what the positions are supposed to do and how a blocking scheme is supposed to work. So I have a little bit of background there. No professional by any means. I just went to a D3 school. But from what I watched on tape, I don't know if he understands what his job is on the field. A lot of times he's not blocking the guy that I imagine is the play design to go block. And so I was not very pleased with how he didn't seem to understand who he was supposed to be blocking on a play. Sometimes he would knock a dude out, and I'm like, yeah, but that was supposed to be the pulling guard, or you're doing a double team. And it's like, sweet, you move that double team 7 yards downfield, but the linebacker you were supposed to peel off for just made the tackle in the hole. So there was stuff that I was not pleased to watch on tape in that sense. I also saw him loaf a bunch, in my opinion, where one play sticks out of my mind big time where he could have crushed a dude out of the hole, and he kind of just stopped and then let the dude come to him. And now the running back ended up making a great play and scoring anyway, but the running back had to made a cut before he wanted to, and then had to break a tackle, where if he would have got out of the way and actually got that dude out of the way, he would have been able to go either direction and make a move and potentially score easier. There was stuff I saw like that on tape all the time. Even his pass pro, I wasn't necessarily like super enamored with. It seemed like he's a guy that could be an interesting, because he has the size. He's 6'5". He's got all what you would want as far as attributes when you look at him. But I was not pleased with what I saw on tape. I would rather get a guy later in the draft because I think the tackle position is so deep this year. And there's like 15 dudes that could potentially be a tackle, maybe not all left tackles, but there's a ton of guys in there that I would love a Walker Little later, or even if like an Eichenberg falls in the second or a Mayfield falls in the second. I think the value for left tackle is in the second and third round, rather than taking a Darisaw in the first.
Okay. Amir did have Walker Little on his did have that on his
oh, did he?
Yes, he did.
Maybe I need to reconsider.
Yeah. Look, the first round, I'm telling you, the first round was scary. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. But he did, brother man did redeem himself. He did redeem. And he did. And look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. he got Monte Nicholson drafted at the spot that he was taken in his mock draft back when Monte, before he was drugging people and everything. So
sad. Yeah. He was a great prospect that never panned out.
Yeah. I remember watching him in that last game at home. So against the Giants back in 19. And I was like, wow, he's lined up 20 yards off line of scrimmage and he's not moving. Huh. Okay. It makes sense. So I look at my cousin, I'm like, yeah, he's like, yeah, they don't trust him anything. Leslie says JOK and Horn is his two choices. Jalen
Horn,
yeah. That's the kid from Missouri, is that right?
I just know he's a corner.
No, that's Bolton. That's Nick Bolton. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of linebacker.
Oh, yeah. Nick Bolton is the dude from the Missouri.
Yeah.
And this guy I want to look into. He's actually an interesting dude. He ran a 4.59 at his pro day. So, and he's another guy that's he's actually short. I think he's only 5'11", but he's like a 240, 5'11" or something like that, running a 4.59. He's a guy that I'm actually kind of interested to go watch some tape on and see if he can't be an interesting linebacker. But with Zaven Collins, just to go back to that real quick, Zaven Collins is a dude. Is he going to be an interior linebacker at the next level, or is he going to be like a linebacker like Ryan Kerrigan was listed as a linebacker?
Right.
Like, Ryan Kerrigan should never have been listed as a linebacker. We just played a 3-4 defense, and we had to put him as an outside linebacker. So is that the kind of dude that I'm getting in Zaven Collins, or am I getting because I want an interior linebacker? Or we play a 4-3, so even like all three of our dudes aren't really going to be lining a bunch up on the line of scrimmage. So I don't know what kind, I don't know if he can be an actual interior linebacker. But go ahead.
No, I agree with you. I think as far as I saw him on his coverage skills and what I was watching Zaven Collins on, I think he could translate. He'd just be a big old middle linebacker, but I think he's got the skills to look on quarterbacks and everything and read them very, very well. So I think he would be good at middle linebacker. And then I trust that the combination of Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio and Steve Russell get him up to speed in reading this offense. Like I think if they can believe in that, if they believe in this cat, I think they'll go and get him because I think they really want that linebacker. And they hit on some. Ron did Kuechly and then Shaq Thompson a couple years ago. So
there's a couple of linebackers later though. I like potentially a Jabril Cox in the second if he falls there. I like Dylan Moses in the third. Cameron McCrone looks interesting. I think out of Michigan, I believe it was. That you may be able to get in the fourth. Monty Rice will be right there in that third or fourth round from Georgia. There's some interesting linebackers that later that I think similar to the tackle. I just feel like the value is a little bit better late, where I do like one free safety in Caden Stearns. I don't know where he's going to go, but I think the value is in Trayvon Merrick. I think that's a huge get if we can somehow get him to shore up that secondary. I think him and Cameron Curl would be one of the best young safety duos, if not the best young safety duos. And then, of course, we have William Jackson, Kendall Fuller, maybe draft a corner late if Paulson Adebo falls to the fourth or fifth or something like that. There's some options there you have. And I would love to get my hands on the free safety and draft tackle and linebacker in the second and third round.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with 19. I just don't think they're going to stay at 19. At the end of the day, I think they're either trade, and I think they'll trade back more than anything. I just don't see this team staying there. I don't know, and I might be crazy, but
it takes two to tango. It's like who wants to come up to 19? Maybe the Titans would want to move up to try to go get that left tackle. I think a tackle for them would be interesting to try to get over the Bears, who may want to try to protect
the Chiefs.
The Chiefs may do. I mean, the Chiefs have traded up before, but that was for the quarterback. I would love to trade back, as I said, and I think even if we trade back to Tennessee, which I think is at 22, I believe is pick number 22. We could still get my boy Merrick and then add another pick that could continue to add to the team. And if we add a pick, there goes your quarterback, in my opinion. Like that, we leave all the other spots open to go fill out the team, but we can now take a flyer on a quarterback if we stay there or if we move back to.
Yeah, I'm with you. Trade back. Get more picks. Because like I said, this is a crapshoot, and I want as many times as I can to roll the dice there. So I'll kind of we'll kind of wrap up from here. Looking at 2021 here. Where does Washington do you believe the odds makers saying Washington will win the NFC East? Granted, nobody has done this I think since the Eagles did it back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, 03, 04, I think it was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Will they win back to back? I think we're going to be a middle, like around 500. Personally, I think we could be an interesting team, but if things bounce our way, then maybe we can go 10-7 because now 17 games. 10-7, 11 games might be a little bit of a stretch, honestly, because the lack of the quarterback spot. Obviously, if Ryan Fitzpatrick gets his act together at all, we're a very, very, very interesting team, and it also we'll have to see what we do with the draft. How many holes do we fill in this draft coming up? So, but if you had to pin me down today, I'd probably say something like an 8-9 team or something. Okay. 9-8, 8-9, somewhere in that, around 500. I think we're a solid team. Need a quarterback. Need to fill out the linebacker spot, free safety, and then tight end. I think I like Logan, but I would like to get another tight end too. There's still some holes to fill, so we'll see how we do after the draft.
Yeah, and I'll ask you this too. So, say they don't win the division, do they make the playoffs? Do we make the playoffs this year?
No, I don't think so. Okay. I don't think two teams come out of the NFC East. I think it's going to be brutal. Our schedules are super tough. Not just ours, but I mean, pretty much everybody has a tough schedule because it's only a 3-game difference from team to team. I think the Giants have a brutal schedule, which the Giants are a very interesting team. How healthy does Dak get? I doubt two teams come from the NFC. If you had to pin me down, I would say no.
No, okay. Not going to pin you down on that one. Don't have enough. Don't want to do that. I don't want to try to stick you there. But yeah, Tim, I appreciate you coming on here, man. Making this happen, and y'all check out Tim's sports talk over there. Him and Jairus, they do a live podcast every Wednesday night. From what time is that, Tim?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What is it? That would be 5 on the West Coast and wherever you may be. So make sure you check out these guys. A wealth of knowledge, and just cool dudes to listen to and watch. And join their Discord. Join the Discord for Tim. I'm going to figure that out, Tim. I swear I am. I'm going to figure it out.
If you go to my last video, you can check the description for the link to get into the Discord. If you go to my last video. Yep.
All right. I will definitely get in there and try and make sure I work that out. Y'all, and as far as like I said, his link is down there in the description as well. But yeah, check out Tim, and also going to have memberships coming out here pretty soon, I think within the next day or so you guys can join if you want to. I've got some things on there that hopefully will that you'll like to benefit from, and being part of the crew and everything like that. I hate asking for people for money. That's what I do for a living. So I don't like doing that now. But anyway, if you listen on Facebook, if you listen on Twitter, YouTube, appreciate you guys coming in here. Tim, as always, appreciate you, man. You always have a spot here on this channel. So whenever you want me to come on there, you give me a buzz. I'm more than happy to do it as well too, brother. But as always,
my mic fixed by then, hopefully.
Yes. Hello, Mike.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what it's doing. It has a mind of its own today. I don't know what it is.
Technology, man. It's technology. It just
technology.
technology. But y'all check out Check out Tim. Also, check out the interview with Mitch Tischler from NBC Sports Washington. After I render this video, it will be in the card up top somewhere around here. So go check that out. Mitch was a great talk. He talked about Nick Sundberg and what he meant to the team and how he taught Jeremy Sprinkle how to play ping pong, but not how to catch a football. I'm Sanchez 405. As always here, I appreciate everything y'all doing to help the channel out. Love, peace, and hail. Until next time, I'm out.